All right, you guys, I got another video for you. This one's going to be a talking head video, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about the idea, or it's not so much an idea, it's a fact, but I want you to understand that dogs are circumstantial learners, okay? So what does that mean exactly? Well, does it ever feel like your dog listens to you beautifully inside the home, but the moment you go outside, all bets are off? That's not really the dog being stubborn, okay? It's because dogs are actually circumstantial learners. They don't know that their behavior indoors applies outdoors, right? So that's really important to understand. Now, dogs learn best through repetition and association, okay? But often those associations are tied to very specific circumstances. We call this contextual learning. All right, so if you taught your dog to sit in your living room with a treat in your hand with no distractions, that sit cue might not have as much meaning to them outside of the home, at the park, around other dogs, or in any other new environment. That's because they don't understand that those things apply out there, right? So you have to spend some time in new environments, kind of getting dogs to learn that these things apply out there as well. So if your dog learned to sit in your living room with no distractions and a treat in your hand, that sit cue might not mean as much to them out in the park around other dogs or in any other new environment. There's another example. Your dog might come flying to you when you call them out in your backyard, but when you get to the dog park, all bets are off. You ask them to come when called, they blow you off like they don't understand it. It's because you haven't done that around all of those competing motivators that are out there. So you have to spend some time, you have to set the dog up for success to be able to come when called with all of those different distractions and all of those competing motivators, right? Like they're interested in the other dogs, they're interested in the people. The people might have treats. They might be chasing a ball, right? And so you're competing for the dog's attention around all of those things. And you have to set the dog up for success. You just don't go out there and cut them loose, right? And start asking them to come when called. You have to be real meticulous about it. You have to do it in incremental steps. So that's just another example of how circumstantial learning can like fall apart on you at the dog park. The same thing goes for leash manners, okay? You could have a perfect heel in your neighborhood, but the moment you go downtown, it feels like the dog's falling apart. He's not listening. He's not staying next to you. He's pulling to get to smell the fire extinguisher post, he's trying to sniff every tree. That's because you're in a new environment. He doesn't understand that the walking that you do in the neighborhood automatically applies downtown, right? So you have to spend a little time down there working with the dog and just getting them to understand, hey, like we just don't do this in the neighborhood. We do this everywhere we go. So to build reliability, we need to practice these commands in multiple locations, okay? Around different distractions. And you have to probably put a little more effort into getting your dog to listen to you in these new environments as well. We refer to this as proofing, or you may have heard that term before. But really what proofing means is, you're constantly trying to take your dog into new environments and getting them to listen to you. That's really important to understand, okay? So it's not that the dog forgot their training or that they don't want to listen to you. It's just that you have not rehearsed those behaviors in that new environment regularly enough for the dog to understand that automatically applies there as well. Now, dog trainers are no exception to this, right? Pet dog trainers, competitive dog trainers, they have to put themselves through the same things with their own personal dogs. And if you've seen a dog trainer out in public and it seems like the dog is listening so well, that dog trainer has just gone above and beyond in regards to like proofing these behaviors and getting the dog to do them in every environment that they go into. So it doesn't matter if you are on a road trip. Like if you take your dog on a road trip, every time you stop at the gas station, you should pull him out and ask him to do a little bit of obedience. You stop at a rest stop to use a restroom, you should take 5 to 10 minutes and pull your dog out and just get him to, do a few things in that particular environment. Competitive dog trainers, there's no exception to them either, right? Typically speaking, competitive dog trainers, whether it's agility, AKC obedience. I'm really into the biting sports. So if you've ever heard of Schutzen or French ring or anything like that, there's no exception for those guys either. They typically have their one environment that they train in regularly and rehearse these things. But when it comes time to competition, and if they're entering a competition that's in another city or another location in town, those dog trainers will prepare for that, and they will actually like go, if it's in town, they'll just go to that location and start working with the dog in that particular location where the competition is going to be held. But if it's out of town, like a lot of these guys, they'll leave like a week early, and they'll go out there for 5 days in a row before the competition starts to just start generalizing those behaviors to that new environment where they've never trained before, right? So this is a really big concept to understand. And if you've heard of real world obedience, if you've heard the term proofing, this is really what they're talking about, right? You're trying to get your dog to understand that we just don't train in one place. We train everywhere. All right, you guys, that's all we have for you on this one. If you found the information useful, we'd love it if you hit the thumbs up button. If you're new to us, subscribe, and we'll check you out in the next video. Peace.